Don't say you don't get how I'll show you how I earn my crown, my crown. And you fall again for my sharp hook.
Hello, everyone. Today we are doing a race in the losers bracket of the MUS division for the 70-star Open. With me in the booth is the Mr. Y. How are you doing on this fine day today?
You know what? I'm really excited to be here. We've just had a fantastic matchup with Peggy and Aleph, and super excited to see how these runners do in the first of what I like to call Redemption Road.
Oh, yeah. Well, you do make a good point. This is the losers bracket, so the winner gets to move on. The loser is eliminated for good, so the stakes are particularly high. No pressure, racers, don't worry. And speaking of the racers, though, to the left, we have mcneills99 boasting a PB of 54:39. How are you doing today?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
I have one question for you, McNeils, because obviously I commented your last race. Did a bug fly in your eye again today, or do you just feel like the shades are now your style for races?
No, I actually mentioned this last race I did for the randomizer one. I actually went to the doctor, and it turned out I have a mild concussion that I got surfing when I was in Hawaii. So that's why the screen light's bugging my eyes. So that's why I'm wearing sunglasses.
Okay, I didn't know that. I missed your randomizer race. Sorry about that. But at least we now know, for those that are here from this, just for the 70-star league. Yeah, both of these runners had a fantastic race in their first round. It was unfortunate that they've ended up here. So it's going to be interesting to see. How confident are you, McNeils?
I actually don't even know my opponent's PB. Could you quickly tell me, and then I'll tell you how confident I am.
So I have it on good authority as it's on the screen of a 53.28.
You know what? you give me a 50-50 shot today. I think I can actually take him on then.
Yeah, because I think you're within PB realm at the moment. So
My PB is not very. Sorry, I don't think my PB very represents my skill level in 70 star because my best is like 3 minutes less than it. I just haven't had a good run yet. So I feel like in a race, I can perform really close to my PB. So I'm hoping I can do that today. Also, I learned pillarless 2 days ago, and I will be going for it. I haven't even had a gold with pillarless yet, so let's see if I can get it today.
let's go, guys. This is gonna be an absolute amazing run. If you're both ready yourself up in race time, and we'll get that countdown started.
Why don't we
Awesome,
interview
thanks,
Kudo first, though?
No, Bakudo is not available for interview at this time.
Oh, I see. All right, on that note, it looks like that both racers have a clean file A. And with that, we shall let race time start off the race for both of these 5 fine runners. May the winner move on to the next round of the losers bracket. Best of luck to the both of you.
Yeah. So yeah, just to give everyone a chat know, normally we do try and interview both runners. At this point, though, we do have some runners where English is not necessarily their first language. So in those instances, they do opt not to interview. It's sometimes that's the way it is. So
Yeah, very understandable. I was just out of the loop. I do apologize for that. But yeah, while we wait for these racers to begin, like their PBs do look pretty similar, so we are going to see which of the two will have the stronger consistency. And that is what I like about 70-star races. It gives the opportunity for consistency to shine and not just PB capability. So I am excited to see what we're going to get out of both of these racers personally.
yeah, absolutely. When we look at both of these races normally play on a consistent level. And as you will have seen, for those that have watched their matches that put them into this bracket, you will see that even though they lost their races, they still had quite consistent runs. There was similar mistakes between both runners. So it's going to be quite an even matchup. Remembering, there is just over a minute of difference in PB between these two runners. And as we have seen multiple times, PBs mean nothing in a race. So let's hope for some fantastic gameplay, and let's not have a meltdown in Womp's Fortress. That's all we can really ask for.
Oh, for sure. And McNeil's did mention he is going to go for pillarless, but I do wonder if he is an OG lover or if he's more of a Tama fan.
So, from what my understanding is, learned pillarless 2 days ago. So, if going for a Toma plus, I would be in shock, to be honest. I think it's going to be a standard setup. I'm going to put it out there now. I reckon that McNeil's will miss pillarless and will then back it up and then get it on their second attempt.
That is stupidly specific, Wah. Did you get your hands on today's script?
Well, no, just, I'm one of these people. I have faith in the runners, but I've learned never to have too much faith.
Fair enough. And yep, Bobolo does mention that McNeil's is an OG lover when it comes to pillarless. Still definitely gets the job done, for sure. Still saves a lot in comparison to Pillarful. And we do see that both of these racers are mcneills99 lovers. Get your slide predictions in the chat for both racers. Let's see what we got here. We have a 13.6 for Kudo. That is
a 13.9, I'm going to say. No,
Yeah.
13 flat. I'm in for the second slide, obviously.
I'm gonna remember that. 13.9 for McNeil's second slide.
Good grief, we'll remember this.
All right.
Right, as we've seen in previous races, some runners have some interesting routing. whether just for this tournament or just irregular routing normally. I believe both of these runners follow a nice standard routing. They both go for a CCM 18, so we're not going to see any double plus shenanigans from our runners. But we are going to see...
Did Kudo just get long jump class?
Indeed.
That is goated. Kudos to Kudo for pulling that off. That is very impressive.
Yeah, we got a texture setup from McNeil's. Wasn't happy with the first one. That was a good option there to readjust. Loses a little bit of time, but it's safer than missing it completely.
Kudo going for Pro Cycle and 100 point.
Not gonna...
Not quite getting it, though. Probably gonna have to back it up with half cycle, but that is still not a death sentence for a race, so both of these runners still in it for sure. McNeil's landing Owless, you love to see it.
Yo, let's go. And just remember, guys, McNeil's is playing with a concussion at the moment, so absolutely fantastic to see that. If I had a concussion, I would have just dropped out, so...
Yeah, that dedication is very much respectable. A concussion will definitely screw with your mental, which is essential for coming out on top in a race.
Yeah, and remember, guys, these guys put support and love into the channel. And I mentioned it in the last race, but if you are able to, and you want to support these runners, for those that may make it into the pro leagues, you can donate to that prize pool by using the link in the chat. Absolutely fantastic to see the amount of support we've had for the SM64 event so far has been absolutely amazing. And not only that, we also have the Super Mario Odyssey League as well. For those of you that are SMO fans, you can also use that link in the chat to help out on that cause as well.
Yep, also a very good Mario speed game. Don't know much about it myself personally, but I have liked what I saw from Odyssey so far.
Yeah, from what I can see, Kudo not quite getting that Owless there. From what I know of Super Mario Odyssey, it is you run, you jump, and you throw your hat. The sort of things I used to do at school, but you now do in a speedrun. So...
Yeah, but Owless do be a tricky trick. Just one thing can go wrong and it will screw up the attempt entirely for you. Personally, one of my least favorite tricks, but, you know, that's just me, I guess.
It's one of those things. Both of these guys going for Shoot to the Wild Blue. And then we've got 2 stars remaining. This race is very, very close.
Oh, for sure. It's these kind of races that are the most exciting. But yeah, both racers closing off Womps. Not gonna say anything.
Not closing off just yet. They've got 2 stars left.
I mean, you get Owless, Cannonless, and 100 point out of the way. You're closing it off. These are relatively old by comparison.
Oh, I don't know. I've seen many people have a meltdown going up that tower, even at this level.
Yeah, a very slept-on star that can laugh in your face when it feels like it. You do make a fine point. Alright. So, Kudo having a very slight lead. That is some clean-looking movements from both racers. So, McNeil is opting for the safer movement. But with that, both runners are out of Womps. You do love to see it.
And to give you guys a statistic that you don't get to see on the CCG channel, Kudo left Womps Fortress doing their Womps 9 about 10 seconds behind on their splits. And McNeil's left just 3 seconds behind on their splits.
Oh yeah, for sure. There's definitely always the prospect of PBing in a race.
Oh
and
yeah.
If someone pulls it off, then that will be exciting.
13-4? Yeah, we're not getting a 13. 12-8! Let's go! Okay.
That is a good slide time. Unfortunately, your prediction of 13.9 did not hold water, but a 12.8 is significantly better anyway, so we shall rejoice for that alone.
Okay, McNeil's had a bit of a faster star grab there, so that's closed the gap again just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Like, a lot
And
of people...
unfortunately, I'm just going to interrupt you there for a moment. Unfortunately, Kudo missing one of those coins on the way down. So that's, again,
Ooh.
going to slow down and give McNeil's that slight edge and that slight advantage.
You hate to see it. But yeah, with these kind of races, you just see how, like, subtle movement is, like, better for, like, more experienced racers. Like, the more obvious things, like, tricks you go for and whatnot are cool, but, like, those top-level racers, you just look at their movement in its most basic form, and you just see how optimized it is. And it's especially interesting to see in a compare and contrast style. But enough rambling about that. We are now in Dark World, a very scary place in a race setting. Let's hope that both of these racers make it in one piece.
Yeah, so what you'll notice as well is these runners were playing it very safe. Kudo did not want to get burnt there, so actually pulled away just a little bit too soon to not get that button. And McNeil's taken a bit of a shock as well. So, you know, we're getting some clean-ish movement, but there's going to be a few mistakes there. McNeil's is a lucky son of a gun.
Barely.
No!
Ooh!
Yes!
Oh, that backup is just something else.
And like that, the lead has now gone back to Kudo. This is probably one of the closer races we've had at this stage in a couple of days.
Yeah.
So
while it is unfortunate that McNeil's ended up getting Ligma Cycle, seeing those backups from him are very impressive. So for that alone, he gets kudos.
I was about to... do you know what? I'm going to have to ask the question, and I'm going to regret asking it. What's a Ligma Cycle?
Ligma balls. Got him.
Oh, I was actually being serious and asking. I didn't know.
Oh, the Ligma Cycle is the cycle after normal cycle.
Right, okay, cool. Thank you for that.
Sorry I had to do it. I hope you can forgive me for that.
For those of you that enjoyed this commentating team together, this is the last time us two as a commentating team will be operating together. Yeah. Huh. Right, Kudo on their way into BOB to get the wing cap star here, the island star. So there's not much difference between the two races here. Man, I feel like my entire career just ended in that one sentence. Thanks for that, dude.
Oh, no problem. The hardest choices require the strongest wills. And
Kudo.
Fortunately, Kudo having to go for the Island Hop movement backup.
As will McNeil's. No, McNeil's is actually going to go and reset up and try again. Which, if you're not comfortable on the Island Hop movement, you know, there's a chance it's going to work. And in this instance, it has. So even with that, that has closed the gap once again.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, like, this may be no Island Hop, but Sky Jump is definitely far from free. A lot can still go wrong. A lot of backups you'll have to resort to on some attempts. Both racers are past it now, and they can move on to good old CCM, which is fitting for this time of year during the winter, except for those in the southern hemisphere. Kudo opting to go for slide first, looking pretty clean. Meanwhile, McNeil's proving to us that wall kicks won't work, but wall kick will work.
All right, yeah, it's interesting to do the slide style first. I mean, when you're doing CCM 18, it doesn't really matter so much. I know some people don't do the slide first. I've said, arguably, I normally do the penguin style first. and that's because normally I mess it up and end up in the slide anyway.
Yeah, an interesting fact is that a lot of racers will opt to not do wall kicks first because it is one of the more risky stars to do. And if you fail it in a race, you have to get the text box.
Oh, Kudo
no!
having a fall! That is very unfortunate there. Goes for the backup
Tragic.
red. Going for a backup red and having a fall, that is real unfortunate. And that completely changes how this race is going.
Yeah, you mentioned double plus shenanigans being scary for racers their level, but if you ask me, I think any mistake that leads to a death in 100 coin or like losing the race is honestly scary to me.
Yeah, I guess I can agree with that. Now, Kudo does go blueless, but does get the backup red, meaning for those that don't know, as mentioned earlier, Kudo can afford to miss 3 coins during the slide. Any more than that, and Kudo will not be able to collect the 100 coin star.
Yep, that is the scary thing about a 100
Already missed
penguin race. Like, just he has 3 spares because of the safety red, but normally you only have 1 spare coin that you can miss. If you miss any more than that, then you're gonna lose about a minute backing it up.
Kudo getting 86 coins, missed 2. Didn't miss the 3rd, luckily. Missed 1 early on, and that meant that, you know, that 1 missed early on. If they didn't get the backup red, see, like, mcneills here also missing 1 on that jump.
And do you know if mcneills got a backup red or not?
I'll be able to tell you in just a moment. mcneills did not get a backup red.
Yeah, the count checks out. But thankfully, not gonna call it yet. Thankfully, getting all the coins. Looking like a clean penguin race from mcneills. You do love to see it.
Yeah, mcneills showing absolute skill here. No backup needed.
Oh, yeah.
I love the camera movement people do when they do the penguin style. But I'll be honest, I'm a C downer. Like I don't do Mario Can down, and I don't change my camera when I do the penguin style. I just let it ride.
Yeah, like I think like C up is good for like the lag reduction, but if you do Pengu trick, then I believe C down is actually the better way to go.
But also remember, if you're playing on emulator, not so much of an issue. And speaking of
oh yeah,
issues.
This is the EMU division, so we are going to be seeing some interesting camera angles that we would normally not see. But I am going to have to say goodbye, Mr. Wah, because both of these racers are approaching BBH right now.
Well, that's what I was about to say about there being an issue. So if you want to come back after BBH, don't worry. I've got this covered. I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
People leave.
Yeah. And here we go. mcneills with a nice movement here, getting that boo. Kudo having a bit of an issue getting into the stage. That happens, you know, not the end of the world. Everyone struggles every now and again to do a little bit of a ground pound on a ghost. So, mcneills is going to be making their way in for the 2nd time, getting that nice dive, roll out, enter. You love to see it. One thing I learned really early on, which is quite interesting, is sometimes, I'm guessing it's easier for movement when you enter into BBH to go through the right-hand door to get the star both Kudo and mcneills are. But from what I remember, going through the right-hand door is slower than the left-hand door. So, not by much, but, you know, the animation's a bit longer. mcneills is giving a wonderful little sign there that things seem to be going well.
All right, I'm back.
Hey, welcome back.
mcneills is approaching SSL now. Just in time for the exciting part.
So mcneills giving the symbolic little thumb thing, which normally only goes with getting a gold. And I've just double checked. That's correct. mcneills in this race has golded BBH.
Oh, BBH is one of the simpler stages, so definitely harder to get a gold. So congrats to mcneills for pulling it off. Missing MIPS, but we are on plus now, getting a medium bomb, unfortunately. Gonna try to go for the Talon backup.
No, I think McNeil just goes for the standard top pyramid backup on that one.
That's interesting.
Remember, McNeil's is only just starting doing Pless. So there's a difference between knowing Pless and knowing the backups. So, yeah, it's going to be a case of how they interact with the run. I think what's going to happen here is McNeil's will go for the Talon Star. Will attempt Pless again, and then if fails, will then just go for the shell.
Both racers having trouble grabbing that damn bunny. We're gonna have to see them get grabbed on the way to DDD.
Yeah, it's unfortunate as well, because it would be great to see another gold from McNeil's if they managed to pull off Pillarless. But because of that mistake of missing MIPS, they'll be grabbing MIPS at the end, meaning they will be grabbing MIPS after getting all the other stars, so there will not be a split for SSL or Leaf
That is
Lava
unfortunate for Kudo. Took so much time trying to correct the angle to get burned anyway. Oh,
sorry, I saw it coming. I knew what was about to happen.
we're having an SSL meltdown. You hate to see it. Another medium bomb from Kudo. That is tragic. Opting to go for it again. Oh, the bomb blows up and goes for Pillar Full.
And now I'd say this is the right decision in this instance. You know, when getting the bomb respawn is not going to help at this case. You know, McNeil's knows what stars I need to get. One more star here. Obviously, I believe Kudo also missed the MIP star. So both runners at a similar pace, but McNeil's is currently 2 stars ahead. And yeah, that's going to be a big difference. And Kudo managing to just salvage it, will be going for the top of the pyramid. Oh.
Yeah. McNeil's having a comfy lead in spite of all the tragedies he's endured in SSL. With that, we're going to move on to LLO, which does have a lot of interesting stars.
It does, yeah. And again, both of these runners do a standard routing. So they'll be leaving Lethal Lava Land on 29 stars, just as a reminder to those of you in the audience, because they will grab MIPS on their way to DDD.
MIPS got away. He is still at large.
Yep. Some say to this day, MIPS is still laughing at all of the runners that have missed him once.
Yep.
So
both racers missed MIPS, actually. Sloths. Both of them. So we are gonna see him get grabbed by both racers on the way to DDD.
Yeah. So speaking of the racers, if you're not already following McNeil's and you're not already following Kudo, go give them a follow. I've just spelt the command wrong. No, I didn't. Okay, cool. Follow the racers on their Twitches. Links are in the chat. These guys deserve that love and support. They're here supporting the Mario cause, making that little red man run fast.
Yep. Putting in the time out of their day to entertain the fans. That is definitely some selfless stuff right there. They definitely deserve the support, so go follow them for sure. Oh, Kudo going for side hop. Let's see how this one goes.
It goes. It goes.
Taking a bit of time to set that up, but we do get a first try side hop. That is interesting to see.
It is interesting as well because of the amount of time spent with the setup. So by doing that side hop with that amount of setup has saved minimal time as it would have been just going and getting the wing cap.
Yeah, I do wonder if Kudo is like a good 16-star runner, because like a lot of like skilled 16-star runners going into 70 opt to just do side hop instead of the wing cap strat. Oh, we get long jump boost from Kudo.
Oh,
and pulls it off. Love to see it.
Yeah, we do. There's still a 2-star difference between these runners, though. So it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get any nice volcano shenanigans from McNeil's.
McNeil is opting for elevator first, which is honestly interesting because I think elevator is a good backup to lava boost if that goes south.
Well, it also depends on how confident you are with lava boost. If you are a runner and you're trying lava boost, and you're not 100% confident with it, it makes sense to get the elevator first, because if you die on lava boost and you want a second attempt, you're going in there with full health. So it's the perfect opportunity to. On top of that as well, if you're not confident enough in lava boost and you miss it, you're gonna just walk up that volcano anyway.
Fair enough. All right.
Which, by the way, McNeil's just runs up the volcano anyway. I was meant to mention that, and I didn't.
Yeah.
My bad.
A perfect demonstration on how movement takes far more precedence over tricks. Even going up that volcano, he will still have a comfy lead walking out of this star. And walking out of LLL. Oh, did McNeil's get another LLL gold?
Nope,
Did the song-
there is no gold split here because Mips was not grabbed.
Oh, rip. But either way... Oh, having a hell of a time grabbing this fugitive bunny. Wanted for stealing one of the power stars. Catch him quick.
You know what? It's okay though, because even with that Mips issue, there is still going to be a 2-star difference here. The gap is closing up below. So who knows?
Oh yeah. But either way, McNeil's being the first racer to make it to DDD. We are gonna see how his swimming skills hold up, requiring a precise rhythm to get those swims down, and like taking the perfect lines with those angles. Definitely an acquired skill for sure.
Yeah, the bullies were giving it a little bit of an issue for Kudo. Kudo managed to get back on top of it though. So kudos to them, as we've made that joke before.
Oh yeah. And I doubt this is the last time we're gonna make that joke either. But either way, kudos to Kudo for making it out of LOL now. And he also struggles to catch that fugitive bunny, but getting him quicker with a nice punch grab, you do love to see that at the very least. Clean looking chest from McNeil's. His swimming's looking pretty nice. Alright, so next up is the Substar. I think we're probably gonna see back sub from him, but who knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we see back sub from these runners, I believe.
Which is very much understandable because front sub is very much high risk, low reward, and you should only save that for when you're closing in on that 47 or world record even.
Just kidding.
Oh wow.
thought I'd keep you on your toes there.
Damn. Oh, but not quite getting it, unfortunately. Backing it up all right.
Do you know what I would say, even with the backing up there, the difference between the movement to the rear of the sub and jumping over, there's not much of a time loss there, even with that missing on the first attempt. It's a few seconds at most. So, yeah. In a race format, if you're confident knowing you can do it, or at least you can back it up, absolutely reasonable to do.
Ooh.
They didn't get that second ring.
Oh. McNeil's getting trolled by Manta. That is okay, but thankfully still getting it relatively early. McNeil's now moving on to Fire Sea, which is a very scary stage because if he does early Ellies, one mistake can lose 20 seconds.
Yeah,
and
and
even just go for it.
If I'm correct, I believe that is the hand signal for McNeil's that it's all gone wrong. So I've just double checked. They're currently running now a minute behind their PB pace. Alternatively from that though, Kudo, with 1 star still to go, is currently running 2 minutes behind their PB splits.
Yeah. What can happen? Oh, getting stuck on the slope of that Specifically, that is a new one for me.
Hey, you can run this game as many times as you want. There will always be things to surprise you.
Yeah,
McNeil's is going to have to
unfortunately.
deal with a slower cycle, which, you know what, in the grand scheme of things, isn't the end of the world. But again, once again, it's just another thing to close that gap between these two runners.
Yep. Normal cycle, which does lose about 20 seconds in comparison to early Ellie's, but sometimes when you're on a decent pace, you take those just to get a run upstairs. And they have no choice but to take those since this is a race. No resets. One shot.
Oh, Kudo, come on, get that red coin. There we go.
Ooh. Invoking that elevator a bit late. Will he still be able to make the earlier cycle? Let's find out.
No,
Rip.
there was just too much issues there on that red coin. That's enough time lost that, yeah, they're going to have to move like the wind, get perfect movement here, and triple jump perfectly. It's not happening.
Neither racer getting early cycle. It is unfortunate, but they will press on.
And we've had a missed Bowser throw from McNeil's.
Oh, that is brutal. I think that throw loses 17 seconds if you miss it. It's so easy to miss that one too, I find anyways.
Oh, having some burning from Kudo, but managing to get back on that platform just in time. Fantastic.
Oh, the pole not quite high enough for him to get that pole grab movement properly. But still not much issue. But with that, McNeil's is the first person to make it upstairs, where all the fun stuff of 70 happens.
Yes. I mean, arguably as well, you know, McNeil's, there's a 39-second difference between their best possible time heading upstairs and their PB. So you never know. A couple of golds, it could still be a PBer.
Oh, that for sure. That's definitely possible to work with if you have a nice, consistent upstairs. And Kudo getting the throw first try, so that will close the gap a fair bit. Alright, so to open Wet Dry World, we have 100 coin and secrets. Probably the most RNG heavy part of 70 star. Let's hope the RNG goes well for both racers.
Quite nice for McNeil so far. Skeeter could have been in a bit of a better position, but you know what? We take what we can get on that one. Something I love as well is something you normally see from all runners is those that do secrets and 100 coin in 70 star, because we know there are runners that don't, is that it's normally the first star people do in Wet Dry World. So we normally know what to expect at this point.
Yeah, just get that RNG heavy star out of the way. I don't believe either of these runners do triple jump wall kick.
No.
Because once that strat's in your arsenal, a lot of runners will opt to get those out of the way first.
But you never, stranger things have happened in a race. Gets that nice roll out there. Oh, beautiful.
Fairly clean looking Wet Dry.
Oh, Kudo getting flipped twice. Man, if I was Kudo, I'd be really flipping out right about now.
It's never just the first one. The second one always gets you too. That's the unfortunate part about that mistake. Alrighty, so we will see the other stars from McNeil's while Kudo closes off Wet Dry World 100. Unfortunate ledge grab on McNeil's part. But, okay.
That's gonna be fine. Yeah. Look at that.
Playing it a bit safe there. I believe he'll make it. Wow.
I knew he wasn't going to connect, so went back down. It's safe to go back down to keep trying at that stage, because there's just that chance you'll clip through it and just completely lose it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Elevator's a very slept-on star. A lot can go wrong. All right. So McNeil is going for warp. Pretty quick and dirty star. Kudo going for top of town. Yeah, both of these racers are just closing off Wet Dry World at this point.
Yeah,
Wish
and
them
we'll
the
see
best.
a 1-star difference still going in here. But with the speed of these stars, even though it's going to be a 2-star count for just a moment, it's still just a 1-star difference.
Yeah, this race is still looking pretty close. Still got a fair bit of game to go, so you can't really call it just yet.
Yep. Which I'm
Like, that's-
glad because I'm glad because I bet all my points on one of the runners, and there was like 24,000 points that I bet. So
we got a big spender here. Let's hope it pays out in his favor. All right, next up is THI, which does have you do secrets in 70, which is one of the more difficult stars for sure.
yes, and if I remember correctly, Secrets was one of the stars that McNeil struggled with in their race, and was one of the final nails in their coffin to bring them here, if I remember correctly. They do go
Opting
for
to
baby
go-
strats, so
Yeah, that is fine because the conventional strap for secrets is just very annoying, especially that mountain clip at the end, requiring like a precise angle and a certain amount of speed to pull it off. Very much understandable that McNeil's would go for the simpler strat. Maybe Kudo will do the same. Will we see a mountain clip?
oh,
from
Kudo taking a
McNeil's?
dip in the drink.
Ooh. Oh, interesting. Going for Wiggler clip to get to tip top. I
Yep,
wonder if that's still. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
That's a common strategy we've seen a lot in this tournament.
Interesting. I wonder if it still saves time over going the scenic route.
If you can clip first time, yes. Like if you get a clean clip, it is a time save.
All right, that is interesting to know. I personally take the scenic route myself, and I do have a 49.
Maybe it's time to give the mountain clip a try.
Yep, I will incorporate that once I go back to 70. I am grinding 120 in the meantime right now.
All right, so we are seeing McNeil's leaving THI. I believe only they were close to a gold there. So,
Unfortunately, Kudo not getting the conventional mountain clip that most decent level runners do. Opting to take the scenic route as a backup. Still getting the star without much trouble at the very least. Meanwhile, McNeil's will be entering TTM now, which is a scary stage in 70. Clean looking mountain clip. Oh, that camera's not quite working out. But thankfully gets the log wall kick, which is another scary part of TTM. Especially since you have to do it twice.
yeah, and for those that aren't that familiar with SM64 speedrunning, in TTM you have a mountain clip which sends you up towards halfway up on the mountain. You need to do that twice. There's also log bounce. These are two of the more difficult strats of the game, especially to get both of them consecutively. It's one of those sort of things, once you've got it consistently, you've got it, but it is a pain in the absolute backside to learn.
And to get consistent at.
Yeah.
But thankfully, the second log wall kick lands for Mick. Oh, barely making it over the mount. Oh no! That was not a good angle for the wall kick. He's gonna have to. Oh,
it's okay.
Come on, get it together, man. Come on. All right. Bursty is not too bad here. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Still rocking a lead at the very least.
So as you'll see, Kudo, even with a better PB, does not opt to do the log kick. Because again, it's one of those high risk, and it's not quite a high reward. It's one of those, it saves maybe a second or two. It saves about 2 seconds each time you do it.
Yeah. I'd say like high risk, moderate reward.
Yeah.
All right.
And again, both these players are playing really, really well. It's just a shame about where they've had their breakdowns.
Well, it's bound to happen to every racer, unless you just get the god run in a race. But yep, that is always the interesting part about 70 races. Like, blowouts rarely happen. It's always relatively close, and it's quite entertaining. Yep. Kudo, not really happy with the turn of events.
Oh, McNeil's angle for doing that box jump, it
That
put me
looked
on edge.
scary.
It's alright, we've got faith in Kudo. I think, yeah, SSL is what happened to Kudo. I have a feeling that Kudo is going to bring it back at some point, though.
Oh, for sure.
Again, there's just under two. There's about 2 stars difference between these two runners. Not even 2 stars. Like, I'd say about 1.5 difference. Maybe 2 stars now. Kudo's fallen over doing the red coins.
But with that, we are now approaching SL. This is where we find out whether these racers are TTC
Kudo
100.
taking
no!
a death.
Yeah, Reds is such a
Ouch.
scary star in TTM.
I will let you know McNeil's is a HMC 58er, so I believe that means they are absolutely a TTC 100er. Yeah.
Lover. All right, excited to see it. I wonder if we'll see the same out of Kudo, though.
Kudo leaves Snowman's Land on 53, so I believe they do not incorporate TTC 100s.
All right, well, we will get a demonstration on SL Reds and Stomp the Thwomp at least, so that will be a nice showcase of a safer route that a lot of runners go for, honestly. That is interesting. McNeil is opting to go for Ice Bully second. Usually the last star people grab. Oh, that was his second backup from Snowman's head from what I see. It looked like he didn't grab that start. I don't know, does he go for Snowman's head last?
Potentially. Again, I know there's some runners that even though they know what stars they're going to get, but they don't necessarily get them in the order you'd expect. So yes, McNeil's is a Snowman head last.
Okay.
I'm guessing a big reason for that is if you have a massive meltdown doing Snowman's head, you could always just do Snowman red.
Oh,
Like if you were to
yeah,
fall down there, it's going to be the same time as leaving and re-entering. So
fair enough. Seeing the basic strat from McNeil's, still saving a decent amount of time.
yeah, McNeil's will need to gold to be up to PB. Just to give everyone in chat a heads up.
Yeah, it's kind of a tall order to expect a PB out of a race, but it is nice to think of. Alright. McNeil's having a decent lead going into HMC. Oh, but getting stopped by that corner. The MIPS
okay.
grab.
Woo!
These MIPS grabs have been rough this race.
They have, yeah. We'll see how Kudo does in about 3 stars time when they finish up Snowman's Land. Almost getting that clean ground pound there. Are we going to get some toe violence? No.
Nope. McNeil's choosing diplomacy, which does give him that star faster, so right call for sure.
Yep, so 4 stars in HMC coming up from McNeil's. We should see triple box.
Meanwhile, Kudo gonna go for SL Reds. A common star for beginners and even intermediate players to do. Definitely gets the job done. And is honestly an interesting star in its own right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm
All
so
right.
sorry. I zoned out for a moment.
Yeah, mcneills99 is just too handsome to lose. Well, he definitely has a handsome lead so far.
Ha ha!
But Tippy is Tippy, so we'll see.
Yeah,
We
Tippy
will
is Tippy
see.
is Tippy.
And he is going for TTC 100 too, so that is more risk on his end. All right. Kudo about to grab Mips again. Let's see if we can get one clean Mips grab out of this race. Let's see.
McNeil's is a right-sider for that star as well. And some would say, that's all right. Hey!
Yep. Kudo closing off the Mips arc with a clean grab. That is
Yeah.
that is definitely a nice bookend to the Mips arc. And with that,
That's a very early dive there from McNeil's.
McNeil's getting a green Christmas, unfortunately. Not quite getting the backup immediately either, but getting it second try, that is still decent pace on McNeil's part. He will be exiting HMC and entering the dreaded Tippy, where anything can go wrong. Let's
Yep.
hope for the best for
or
both
nothing
these
will go wrong.
racers. Yeah, I think some racers did test out some very impressive tippies, so maybe we'll see that out of McNeil's. Meanwhile, Kudo not quite getting a clean triple box jump, but still getting a decent one. That is looking good.
Yeah, it's nice seeing the chat. Seeing we've got fans of both runners in the chat. Let's go. That's what we love to see. Support for these guys is great. Nice clean entry into Rainbow Ride from McNeil's.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see. Maybe McNeil's is a lack of bounce hater like I am.
McNeil's
I
will
go-
save those stars for last, and we'll do these two first. Just, I think, to get them out of the way, and to get
Yeah.
that movement in Rainbow Ride. One thing which
Yeah.
I find is if you do the easier stars first in Rainbow Ride, you feel like you've got that movement down, and it gives you a bit more confidence going into it.
Yeah. So, it really depends on the racer. But McNeil's going for lack of bounce, but not quite getting the wall kick, unfortunately, which
And
is
we're back up with
understandable
Reds.
because you got to delay that side flip and the wall kick a bit so that you manipulate Lakitu into being in the proper spot.
Kudo fell in the big hole in HMC.
Oof, that is brutal. And I think still has to get 2 more stars because he went for SL Reds.
Correct.
Ooh.
So there'll be one more star after this one that Kudo will need to get, whilst McNeil's has 2 stars left to get in Rainbow Ride.
Still having to... taking a fall. That triple jump wall kick on the spinning platform is more precise than it looks.
Yeah, it's unfortunate as well because Rainbow Ride is one of those stages where the exit out of the level is just longer, and again!
Twice in a row. That's definitely going to close the gap that was opened up a bit by that fall in the HMC hole.
Yeah. Now, there's no way McNeil's does this a third time, right? McNeil's does this a third time, he's throwing for content. Nope, we're all good. Okay, guys, it's okay.
Oh, yeah. Commentator's curse not making entry today. Oh.
Hey, look at that movement! Oh, that was sweet.
Going for Pro Breeze. That is very respectable. Congrats
Yep.
to McNeil.
McNeils is going to try and bring out all the strats. We're going to see one more attempt at that Lakitu bounce.
All right. And now Kudo is making his way to Rainbow. Oh, not quite getting Laka bounce. He's going to have to go the long way now.
That's okay. Kudo having a death, not quite making that triple jump.
Ooh.
See, good grief, this is why we don't say anything could happen, because anything will happen.
I don't know. I think it keeps the audience in good suspense, so it is a small sacrifice to make. But McNeil's busting out a good beginner strat for Cruiser Star. Clean looking movement. That is nice. Oh, taking a bump in reds. But I think we will be seeing TTC 100 out of McNeil's.
Yep. Well, he's got no choice at this point.
Yeah.
Whether he wanted to or not, it's too late to change your mind. That's the route you've chosen.
But I mean, some racers do go for TTC 100 last, but looks like he is a TTC 100 first kind of guy.
I think if you're at that stage where you've gotten into TTC stopped, I think I just take that opportunity to not have the slower entry, because there are other stars you can do moving, even as a beginner. So
Oh yeah, for sure.
it makes sense to take advantage of that getting in there stopped. I don't do TTC 100s, but I make sure I do top of the clock, if you know, or thwomp at the top, whatever you call it.
Stomp. Womp.
Stomp the thwomp, that's it. I make sure to do that fast if I go in stopped for my first star, because I want to take advantage of that, and I know I can do the movement for the other ones.
that
Taking the
is
fall, but will
not-
survive.
Oh, barely.
That's fine.
How will he back this up?
We'll just take the long way round to get back up to the top.
Yeah.
It's the only way to do it, really.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we'll go back and try that triple jump again.
Oh.
No, they're getting invisible.
That is a brutal wall kick to do. You can like just get clipped inside the fence so easy. And like it's a fine line between getting clipped inside, getting the wall kick, and just straight up missing it.
Yeah, and it shows a difference here because Kudo still has 1 star to get in Rainbow Ride, whereas McNeil's will be just finishing up 2 stars here, and will have gone through the Stomp the Thwomp. So we'll have arguably still have that strong, steady lead.
Yeah, we will really only find out who's winning after Kudo busts out Stomp the Thwomp. But I have a good feeling that McNeil's has the lead.
It's definite, because McNeil's has now done Stomp the Thwomp and backed up that other coin with 100s. McNeil's is in the lead.
Oh yeah, nice. Definitely demonstrating some decent consistency for today's race.
Look at that.
Going for flippies, slipping on, but backing it up quite well. This man definitely knows his flippies. He's
Yes,
definitely,
he does.
definitely been around that block a few times. All right. Ooh, getting trolled by the platform, unfortunately.
This is probably my most hated triple jump in the entire speedrun, no matter what category it is.
Oh, I
Right.
don't blame you. That movement is extremely difficult because not only do you gotta be accurate with your triple jump, but you also gotta hold back a bit so that the peak of your triple jump does wall kick and a bit below that. It is fairly precise and very scary for beginners to learn.
And we'll now see that McNeil's has got the 3rd highest star in this stage. Still has 3 more stars to go, whereas Kudo still has 4. I believe McNeil's will go in moving now to do everything but reds, I believe. I can't remember if McNeil's does moving reds.
Ooh. Well, moving reds. Watching this makes me want to run SM64. give it a shot. We are always welcoming newcomers to this game. We got plenty of resources, plenty of people willing to help out. If you want to get in on this, you are more than welcome with open arms.
Yeah, you'll find that no matter who you're watching in the SM64 community, if you say you want to start learning to run, most people are nice enough to want to give you a helping hand. And I'll be honest, I think a lot of it comes down to bragging rights. You know, if someone starts playing really, really well, you want to be that guy that taught them the openings, right? Like,
Yeah, but he does run SMS, which is still a pretty fun game to watch. I have yet to try it myself personally. But either way, let's see.
right, it is a
McNeil's
2-star
getting-
difference.
Yeah, McNeil's getting timed bars. Kudo going for a flippy. Looking good. Getting that hand without much issue.
Yep. Non-moving reds is all that remains for McNeil's now. They are opting for the far superior TTC 69 route.
Yeah. Moving reds is a big gamble. Another one of those high-risk, low-reward strategies. And honestly, most of the time saved from that strat comes from entering the stage faster. Alright, McNeil's being the first to go to Sky.
Kudo taking a death.
Unfortunately, not a rare occurrence in TTC, but unfortunate to watch all the same. Alright, McNeil's grabbing the 70th star. All he has to do now is defeat Bowser. Though
That was a
Bits
swag
is-
backflip.
Oh, for sure, but Bits is far from an easy stage, so we will see how it goes. Oh. Is Kudo throwing in the towel?
I don't know.
Yeah, probably. GG DQ. Yep, he's
Okay.
throwing in the towel, which is unfortunate, but Kudo gave such a valiant effort anyways. Give him a GG's in the chat for putting in the time to entertain the fans. Still respectable in my book.
Yeah,
But with
and let's just
that-
see this finishing off nicely with McNeil's.
Yep. McNeil's taking a bit of a fall.
Yes,
That
we're still
first
going to see
time.
Kudo doing a sky movement, though. Giving the fans what they want.
Yeah, come on. Let's sync that race up. Oh, standing
Oh.
left not going well for McNeil's. That is one of the more punishing strats.
I mean,
Hate to
on the
see
bright
it.
side for McNeil's, it doesn't really matter. They have now won. So,
Yeah. Just, you know.
just
Kudo
gonna be
did
nice.
the BLJ. He is disqualified, unfortunately. So all McNeil's has to do is crawl to the finish line, no matter how slow. He just has to make it to the finish, and he moves on to the next round of the losers bracket.
yeah, it looks like his redemption road is definitely getting a little bit brighter.
Yeah. Just crawl.
He needs to get this. He wants to get this.
No matter how many times standing left trolls, he eventually gets it, further closing in on that finish line. But, funny enough, Kudo is the first to do throws, giving us an early preview.
It's crazy to think of as well, because Kudo had thrown in the towel, but with those mistakes from McNeil's, there was a chance. And it just goes to
Yeah.
show that even in a race, this is like, even Sky can just throw chaos into the mix.
Yeah. Never give up, even if you lose by a significant margin. The effort alone is still respectable. Alright. And we get that third throw from McNeil's. And with that, he walks away with the W for today's race. He lives to do another race. Give a nice GG's to McNeil's for the dub. He has definitely deserves it.
Get those Drakes in the chat. Wow. McNeil's just won. That is insane. Did not expect it.
And with
His
the
sunglasses to
concussion
take him to
too,
victory. Yeah. We'll get,
respectable.
I don't know, Kudos, because I know you can hear the stream. Are you wanting to do any post-game interviews? Obviously, if not, it's okay. Let us know. If you don't want to do post-game interviews, just let us know now. But whilst we wait for an answer on that, McNeils! I was expecting a
And-
response.
Kudo went offline. So McNeils,
McNeils, we can't hear you.
yeah, your mic's off, fortunately. Can you hear us?
I think he can hear us, we just can't hear him. It's quite funny because we're listening to him talk as well. Like, I think he's saying one moment.
All right. Let him set up the mic.
Yeah. Just mute all your stream audio and join on PC. It's all good. It's all good, bro. Oh, yep. I think that's exactly what's about to happen.
Yep.
We can get McNeils back in, please. Production. But yeah, whilst we wait for that, with that in mind, we have McNeils that will be going on to the next stage of Redemption Road. McNeils, hey!
You guys are joking, right? This is just trolling me for content. There's no way I won that, right?
You did
You
win
won that.
because Kudo decided at 67 stars to forfeit. You were going into Sky whilst they were still in TTC.
But I did terrible.
There was unfortunate deaths. You had some big mistakes. Kudo also unfortunately had some big mistakes. Just it seems that the routing you had just kind of helped it. It's unfortunate on Kudo's side. These things happen. But yes, you won. You did win. This is not a troll. This is not a joke.
No, this is genuine. That's the thing with races. You don't have to do good. You just have to do better than the other racer, which you have today. Kudo has put in a valiant effort for getting as far as he did, but you have taken the W for today's race. How do you feel now that you're moving on to the next round of the loser's bracket? Another race to do.
I am feeling humbled because of that run, but you know what? I'm glad to still be alive. I'm shocked that I'm still alive. Honestly, I was just finishing it, just out of good sportsmanship. I genuinely didn't even think there was a chance I was winning this race. But
I also really want to thank you because you helped me now go from 26,000 channel points to like 36,000 channel points. I went all in on you.
Them doubters out there, they don't believe in me. All right.
So it was unfortunate to see your issues with Pless. I was really hoping to see a nice little Pless there without missing MIPS. Both runners, obviously, you both missed MIPS for the first MIPS.
I didn't think MIPS would be something I had to practice, but clearly I have to.
MIPS
You
is a
guys saw that? That was horrendous.
Oh, you're not the only one, trust me.
Oh my god, that's crazy. I can't wait to watch this one back and I'm gonna cringe at how terrible I am, but I'm curious at how close the race actually was.
So
was
you
it
were
close?
going in. So you went into Sky with Kudo on 66 stars.
When did were they closed until like what point were they not closed anymore?
Oh, that would be HMC.
That's where Kudo kind of took like some L's.
Yeah, so you had a similar amount of deaths in Rainbow Ride. Then they had an unfortunate death in HMC. And then it was just it's one of those times where you're in the middle of a race and things just don't quite go the way you need it to, and these things happen.
Yeah, you guys keep me in bits. I have never done that dive fall off in my entire life. I was shocked when I fell in bits. I'm like, okay, this clearly just a nice dive up. We're moving forward. I just dive off the staircase somehow. Never done that in my life.
Yeah. And we'll say as well, Kudo, thank you very much for participating. So, you know, it's unfortunate. Obviously, this was your last match with CCG, but we do hope to see you again. If you do have any closing remarks, feel free to unmute. But if not, we completely understand with the whole language situation. But thank you so much for joining us. All right, cool. That answers that question. Thank you so much, Kudo. It's been absolutely fantastic to have you here. We look forward to seeing you in the next event that gets hosted here. But McNeils, you will be moving along. And as far as CCG goes, the races will continue. We do have another race coming up straight after this. I believe it's I believe we've got a Mario Odyssey race coming up. Yeah, we got a Mario Odyssey race. We got Okra versus Duckable. So if you are interested in sticking around for that, please make sure you do. Mario Odyssey is a great game to speedrun. And remember, guys, you can also check out the 70 League and the SMO League by following the links in the chat. And yeah, I've been the Miswar, and I'll leave you with good grief to see us out.
All right. So, if that concludes a loser's bracket race, McNeils has moved on, and we appreciate Kudo's participation in the tourney, but unfortunately, that will be his last race. That concludes today's race, and for the Odyssey fans out there, enjoy, because we got a nice race coming up for that game exactly. Hope you all enjoyed, and thank you for watching, everybody.